More music.
Oh my God.
Here goes.
Blazing across the airwaves right now. Get ready.
Now this is Freddie McGregor, and you're tuned in to the baddest rhythm of all time.
Grant's Rock Warehouse is trying to change the world one track at a time.
Are we on the air?
Yes, you are. More music. More of the time.
Grant's Rock Warehouse.
Don't understand what's going on
Welcome
here.
to Grant's Rock Warehouse and to another episode of the Frank Zappa series. I want to welcome back E.M. Boldt to the channel. Tonight we're going to tackle 1981's You Are What You Is. We want to hear from you in the chat. We are live. Let's do it.
Grant is trying to change the world one track at a time. Grant's Rock Warehouse is keeping it real in the field.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It's episode 800 in the Frank Zappa series. I want to welcome B.M. Boldt to the show. We thought we would start the show off and play Teenage Wind, which I think is a great opener on this record. Mr. B.M. Boldt, how are you today?
Very good. I like
very good. Now,
talking about this album.
Yes, because I have this. I've got we were talking a little bit before we started the show of how this album sounds. And I've got the old Ryko CD, and well, we could talk about it real quick or whatever. But yeah, that's the one I've got. But there are different versions. Byron was saying that the original EMI CD that came out like in the late 80s is supposed to sound very good. I don't have the album. I don't have the vinyl to talk on it. Byron has it. But it's always a bit of a questionable sounding record.
The people love the sound of the vinyl and the 2012 EMI CD, and they do like the EMI CD you mentioned. Mm-hmm. But most of the other CDs are they just have this weird, it's like it's coming and going and it's bouncing around. And I thought that that Teenage Wind sounded kind of crappy toward the end. I don't know if that was some other thing going on, but it didn't sound that great. So,
it's the Ryko. Damien's got the 2012 Zappa Records pressing. How does that sound? I'm just curious. You know, we're always liking to talk about sound quality on this show. Okay, here we go. Larry Gray's Canadian. The remaster from 2012 is so excellent. Earlier CD was horrible. You know, I think I need to upgrade, but it's fine for what we're doing here today. But okay, 2012, we get a okay.
Yeah, I have the 2012 MP3s, and it sounds pretty good. So.
Okay. We have talked about this before, and I think if you're looking for good quality CDs, and there's a lot of people still buying CDs that likes that format. Me, I am one. I have never gotten a 2012 CD of the Zappa catalog that was bad. I think those must be the definite versions because they all sound great. So I'm just going with that. What a weird way to start out the show, but whatever. We're loose here in the warehouse. But before I hand it over to Byron, I want to say that this whole process, if you're new to this series, I was a big Mothers fan. I still think that that's the best stuff. All the original Mothers, that absolutely free. We're only in it for the money is my favorite record. But this record, and I got it. I hadn't listened to it. I was saving it for this show.
Don't ruin it.
I'm not going to ruin it. But I really like it a lot. Out of all the records that we've done so far, Byron.
You're like a young teenager in love. Oh, I love it. Oh, God.
All right. So I'm going to throw it over to Byron, let him start us off, even though we've already kind of went on a weird tangent, but that's what's fun about the warehouse. Anyway, go ahead, Byron. Take it away.
Right. Yes. This is album 34. We've probably done 25 or 26 episodes at least.
Probably, at least.
Recorded in July through September of 1980 at the Utility Muffin Research Kitchen. And we've kind of discussed the different versions of the vinyl and the CDs. One other thing that people complain about is that the Dumb All Over is kind of, which ends side 3, and then Heavenly Bank Account, which starts side 4, they edited that and they shortened both tracks and people complain about that. So I believe so the vinyl, it's not edited, and I believe the 2012 CD, it's not edited. But I think almost every other CD version is edited. So that's another thing that we can look at. If you
on here on
a different version.
On these sound clips, I have them faded out because a lot of these tracks, if you know, for those who know the record, all the songs segue into each other. So it's a bit of a nightmare. So I've got all the tracks here individual and I've had them faded out. So. And I do want to mention one more thing before Byron gets going. Anybody not watching the live show and you're watching this going, well, where's the music? Well, I cut out, if you don't hit the live show, I cut out all the music and we just leave all of the discussion. So you have to go out and check it out on your own. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah. So, actually, I didn't really write down who was on this because there's so many people on it, but I thought, well, maybe I'll pull it up if I feel like talking about that. But, let me go ahead and kind of name off some of the big names that are on here. That one. Ike Willis and Ray White are on here. Bob Harris, he sang on the Teenage Wind, which we had just listened to. Real high voice. He was with Vi on like Flexible and Leftovers. He did some singing on there. He's got a real high voice. Vi's on here. Tommy Mars, Arthur Barrow, Ed Mann. You get a Denny Wally. You get an appearance from Motorhead Sherwood and Jimmy Carl Black from the original band. David Logeman's on drums. I thought Vinny Colaiuta was on here, but apparently he is not. No big deal. Amit and Moon Unit, they both get a little bit of appearances here and there too. But all right, so let me get back into my notes. This album is 4 sides. It's a double album, everybody. But there are 3 suites. Side 1 is a suite, side 2 is a suite, and 3 and 4 is a suite. It's not like it's a concept album or really, and some of the songs don't really have a lot in common, but some of them kind of do. So there's a little bit of a storyline here and there.
There are themes, I would say.
Yeah.
Commercialism, materialism, religious hypocrisy, a lot of social commentary, alienation. I just have to jump in because I am getting like a schoolgirl. When I listen to this, it has a lot of the same type of subject matter that you got earlier, like on Absolutely Free or Early Enough for the Money or Uncle Meat. It fits right in with that. This is like an extension of that whole Originals Mother era. That's how I kind of look at this record. I don't know.
Yeah, because this is like about 15 years later. But, I was thinking about this and, it's 44 years later and some of it still applies today.
It still applies.
But, my next note was like how, the lyrics satirize a lot of the topics. And some of this was going to be on this album and the Warts and All, but those both got scrapped. And we kind of talked a little bit about that during the Tinseltown album because some of that ended up on there. I think this was this may be his most accessible album. It really is that accessible.
Well, compared to like some of the Mother stuff, I would say. I think We're Only in It for the Money's kind of accessible.
Yeah, but there's some weird things on there too.
But the thing is about this record, though, this is hooky. It's memorable. We stick pretty much just to straight rock on this record, I would say. There's some country on it, but it totally fits in with that whole Original Mothers type of concept, I think.
Yeah.
That's just the way I hear it.
The other thing I was going to add on about this is this album is full of overdubs and vocal overdubs and sound effects and just so much overdubs. It's just crazy. It's hard to describe how much is really going on here. And there's not as many guitar solos on this album. And the ones that are on here for the most part aren't like standalone, like a lot of times, his guitar solos like it just goes off on a tangent from the song. The backing track during the solo is the song itself. He doesn't do something completely different. It just follows the song.
And I think when you hear Steve Vai on here, he does stand out a lot more because he's hitting that whammy bar and stuff. I don't know. He just seems to be more, at least on this record, he just seems to be more out front than previous records, maybe. Ladies and gentlemen, I could be wrong. We've been through a lot of albums. But on here, I just really remember a lot of Steve Vai popping through.
All right, so we played the first song, like you said, "Teenage Whim." So I'm gonna get into some of the track descriptions here. So that song, really, it's a spoof of hippies. It's talking about
Absolutely Free could fit right in.
Yeah, and he's talking about going to see a Grateful Dead show and he's sniffing his glue and
it's classic.
But to me, he's like, we want to be free. Free is when you don't have to pay for nothing or do nothing. We want to be free. Well, that sounds like a lot of losers today. They're not going to go into politics or anything.
Oh no!
Everybody wants their shit for free these days. But anyway, we're not going to really get into that. But other thing I didn't really notice when I was researching this is that the way the song starts with the bass, apparently that was when Arthur Barrow's on the bass on this, and I think they did a show one night with Al Di Meola guested, and they did "Ride Like the Wind," and so Arthur was kind of doing that bass, and then I guess they based that bass line from "Ride Like the Wind" as the bass line at the beginning of this track. So I hadn't really noticed that before. The song's a little reggae at times, tons of vocals like I discussed. You got Bob Harris with that real high, like a boy vocal.
Bob I love Bob on this record. I do.
He was on Tinseltown as well. He did some of the high singing on that. We're going to get some more Bob, I think, on Thingfish later on down the road.
I do. I know. I'm looking forward to that. Dan, I do agree. The songs are there, clever and funny lyrics. This is, I'm not going to spoil it, but I really love this record.
Did you notice in there the Jimmy Carl Black was kind of recreating his Lonesome Cowboy Bird?
I love it. I love it.
200 Motels album.
I'm in.
Talking about the waitress and whatnot. So anyway, everything.
You have to love that. I love it.
Everything segues. So that just segues right into our next track. We get Jimmy Carl Black doing a country song. This is straight country, and it's called "Harder Than Your Husband."
It's great
to get along with, and it is good. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's got the double entendre. And
it's a great country song. They're playing it pretty much straight country, but then of course you have the lyrics that stand out, and the segue from the first track to that track, even the whole record, it just seems like, compared to what we had before on our last record, "Shut Up and Play Your Guitar," it seems like now Frank could sit and concentrate and actually put together a real work, something that really flows well thought out. It's not a record that I look at that he's just tossed out there.
No,
you know what I mean?
This was his first full studio album in quite a while. Because, no, I take that back. Well, Joe's Garage it basically was a studio album with some live guitar solos. So this is kind of in that vein, but this is so much more songs and less guitar solos than that.
It's more song oriented, like the earlier stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I like. I think this is the perfect combination. That it is for me.
Yeah,
All
right, you might like this album. So,
I freaking love it.
Marlon's there, yeah. All right.
Straight country. Byron, how could you?
Marlon, you got to take the good with the bad. You got to take a little bit of everything when you're listening to Zappa. So he'll throw a country in there, and he'll throw a little bit of everything in. So,
but it works.
Yeah.
It works. That's what's important. It works, and it's memorable.
All right, so we'll get back into this. We got 20 songs, I think, to cover tonight.
Well, you don't have to cover them all.
Well, I like to cover them all. I'm going to pull a little Davey Creighton on you here tonight.
Oh, God, don't go down Davey. Jesus.
So the next track it segues in is Doreen. It's got Ray White singing his ass off. It's kind of a rock and doo-wop track. Frank's got some aggressive guitar soloing going on it, and Ray's doing a bunch of ad-libbing. I'll kind of move through these tracks a little fast. So that leads straight into Goblin Girl, which is a reggae tune.
A classic.
That Frank
love
singing with other people. There's just so much vocals going on. And a lot of group vocals, I don't want to call them group vocals. But one guy might take a little bit lead here and there. But and then this it goes from the reggae into doo-wop with a lot of different parts going on vocally. Then they kind of jump back into some more of that Doreen track, the prior track. Like I said, in my note just says there's a lot going on here vocally on this track. There really is. And the side ends with a theme from third movement of Sinister Footwear, which is an instrumental like we would have heard on Shut Up and Play Your Guitar.
It's great.
The thing
It's
is perfect
perfectly.
about this one's different than the other ones, though, on those albums, where Vi transcribed Frank's guitar solo on here. And then you can hear it's probably him duplicating Frank's playing. And then I believe you've got probably Ed Mann on marimba or keys. I think it's marimba. He's also playing the same notes. So you're hearing two guitars and I think the marimba all playing the exact same notes during the solo. And I think they may have replaced the bass and the drums with some of the Xenochrony stuff like they did on some other albums. But it's a very good instrumental, and that ends side one.
And I just want to comment. I think it's a perfect side. It's a perfect side. It is. I swear to God, Byron. I love this. I was just surprised. Okay, well, this is what surprises me because I didn't know a lot of this later catalog. And to hear it got me right at the beginning. It's just everything I said.
I envy you, though. You are just discovering this now.
Yeah, thank God.
I envy you, but then again, I don't because you kind of missed out over the last 40 years.
But this is what I'm going to say. If for 1981, I wasn't expecting this. A record from Zappa this good, and so he's so focused. Wait till I'm just saying. I love it. Keep going. Go to side two. And we are going to play another track from this side once we get to it. So just be patient.
So this side is more about this theme on this one is more about, and you laid it out. It's kind of about socialites, people with means and nepotism, where they take care of their family and their friends and everybody else is left to, just get by, especially in like small towns and stuff. So a lot of it's about that. And then it's about, beauty and shallowness maybe. And the song we picked that I picked to play, though, I really don't know what the hell it's about exactly, but
maybe we can figure it out together.
We'll talk about it when we get to it. But so anyway, the first track on here, it's a short one, Society Pages. It features Frank and Ray singing. It's kind of bluesy, funky. It rocks too a little bit. It's got a real bounce to it, I think. You're the old lady. Yeah. And like I said, it's about socialites and nepotism. But then that jumps right into an even shorter song at 156 minutes called I'm a Beautiful Guy. And it's a really strange, it's very musical, but it's more of a collage of all these different weird things going on. But musically, it's real strong. And it's about a guy who's this male narcissist. I like to think he's kind of like Bobby Brown. And but then there's also this like Tonight Show type section, I don't remember the part, how it goes exactly, but it feels like it's from like, an evening talk show, that sound. And then again, that segues into a song called Beauty Knows No Pain, which is kind of heavy at times, but it's in 1816 in certain sections as well. So that's what it made me think. Vinnie Colaiuta, I thought he was on here, but not according to what Wikipedia said. This has got group vocals with Frank narrating about the dumb stuff that people attribute to beauty. So, shallowness and, and how they do dumb things to try and
fashion, vanity.
Yes.
All these songs on this album all have that type of I mean, it's a loose concept, but it does have a theme, like we've talked about before, and that's what all this is about.
But yeah, and Ike does some lounge singing on this track as well, and there's just a whole lot going on vocally again. If you haven't heard this, you'd be amazed how much vocals are going on, just multiple layers of stuff and different counterpoints type things. But so that actually leads us into the next track, Charlie's Enormous Mouth. So I think Grant will play that, and then we can.
I will play that. Yeah, this concludes the whole trilogy. I guess it's a trilogy of tracks all focused on images. But I don't know. We'll play it. We want to get your thoughts on it. If you haven't heard it, you like it. Do you like it? Do you don't like it? Whatever. Let's play Charlie's Enormous Mouth. Internet.
Yeah, something's really jacking up the sound of that. It sounds way better. Even the bad CD sounds way better than that. That's fine.
I don't have their WAV files. They should be fine, unless it's processing. I can't talk. Processing it weird. But it's very mud. It's not muddy like All Things Must Pass or Born Again or anything like that. But you can hardly hear the cymbal. It's a weird mix. It's almost like a wall of sound. It's almost like Frank handed the keys over to Phil Spector. But I'm giving it a pass because I'm going to get a different CD.
Well, like I said, my 91 CD sounds way better than what's happening. YouTube's doing something to that, I think. Tonight.
I don't know. Maybe.
So
I'll listen to it on the way I'll listen to when this goes up. I'll check it out.
Okay, so that was Charlie's Enormous Mouth.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you know what the problem is? Echo cancellations.
Well, there you go. Good. At least we got it fixed for the next tracks.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just going to leave it off.
Okay,
you
we'll
don't hear any echo?
You can. I don't hear any echo. We'll remove all of that from the from the final release. But yeah, that was Charlie's Enormous Mouth. Very accessible, except the lyrics are kind of strange. Something about her large mouth and nose, and she's got a dead brain, and they put her in the grave. So I don't know what the hell that's really got going on in it. Which then that segues again into Any Downers, which is a continuation of the previous track. Really heavy rocker with aggressive guitar soloing, and like I said, Frank is soloing over the actual progressions of the song, which he doesn't normally do. So,
Marlon, I'm not going to play it again because I'm going to remove them. They're not going to be in the show, the final show.
And so the last track on here is Conehead. And so I don't know if all you've seen, but Frank was on Saturday Night Live in, I don't know, 70s, twice actually. I think 76 he might have hosted. And he acted, so he did a Conehead skit, and the song's really about that. So it's just, he's just talking about the things from the skit, and pretty good song though. I really like it.
It's quirky, it's rock, oddball. Yeah. I like the spoken word elements on here. Instrumentation's great. I don't really, there's not going to be anything on this record I'm not going to like. So, but yeah, I like it. I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, he's referencing, Remulac, and they're really from a small town in France. So all the references to the skit. But that ends side 2, which then will take us to the second album, which, and this both sides of the second album are one theme. Well, one suite, we'll call it, with a couple different themes. But the first track on here we're going to play, and this was a single, and Frank made a video for this. This was like the only MTV video he ever had. MTV avoided it. It was kind of political in some ways, and so they just kind of avoided it. But it's ska, so why don't we just play it, and then let's just play it. About the song a little bit after the fact.
All right.
I hear ska. Let me know what you think.
All right, off of You Are What You Is from 1981, the title track. Remember that track being played on FM rock radio back in the day?
Really?
They used to play this on QFM 96 here in Columbus. I remember playing it. They never play anything like that now. I've heard it on the radio.
Did they edit out the N-word?
Oh, I'm sure. Of course, here in the warehouse, we don't edit anything. We leave it all in. Of course, it won't make it to the final episode, but that's why everybody should tune into the live show. David Logman on drums. Yeah. Logman.
Yeah. Kyle asked, did he say he's harder than your husband, which is a reference to the second song on this album, Harder Than Your Husband. There's a lot of that going on here. They'll quote one line from a song, from like a different side on this album. So there's just a lot of that going on. So yeah, that track, like I'd said, I thought it kind of felt like ska, and a lot of vocals going on group wise, but Ray's really featured on it, especially toward the end there. Now there was one line where they say he talked like the Kingfish from Amos and Andy, and then you hear Ike start talking with this I don't know if it's the Kingfish accent or whatever. That's what Thingfish is based on. So when we get to Thingfish, he recreates that voice for that whole album. So be prepared for that. All right. So a lot of the song is about this black guy, and he culturally appropriates becoming a Caucasian, and all the things he's doing. He learns to play golf, and he got a good score, and he says to himself, "I ain't no N-word no more," whatever. And he gets himself a Mercedes Benz and all this stuff. But then the song will segue now into Mud Club, where our young man in the first song, he goes the Mud Club, which I guess is in New York City.
Yeah, it was in New York City. Yeah.
And this is kind of a fast reggae song, where they're kind of chanting this theme. Frank's kind of narrating what goes on at the club over a vamp.
Yeah, I love it.
And there's a lot of background dialogue going on, like you're in a bar. He goes there, he works the wall, works the floor, works the pipe. I don't know what all that means. But so then that will now go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, but we're still with that thematic thing about the shallowness, social type of thing. The shallowness, the shallow, less, how it's a similar theme that we saw back in the late 60s. I just love it that he has taken a theme that he was driving home back in 67, 68 and bringing it to the, early 80s. I love it. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So now we're going to get a little bit of a change in the theme. It's going to segue into the Meek Shall Inherit Nothing, which I'm going to describe as kind of a country pop song. There's a real churchy feel to it, though. And basically, it's about how the government and religions are screwing you over. So we've gone from this. So really, we've kind of changed subject here a little bit, but now it's more about religion and government. Mm-hmm. And that jumps into Dumb All Over. And I think I mentioned how on the vinyl it says 5 minutes and 50 seconds, but on most of the CDs, it's 4 minutes and 3 seconds. So they kind of chop out a big chunk of the guitar solo at the end. It's really just a rock vamp with Frank speaking with like a flanged voice. I think he's running it through a flanger.
It sounds like a flanger.
Yeah, it just has that same effect to it. And he's really just talking about how bad religions are. People are killing in the name of their religion, and oh, my religion's better than yours. And if you don't like it, I'll just kill you. Things like that. And he talks about are we really dumb if we're doing what God tells us to do, or is God dumb? He's kind of questioning that. But it's kind of an anti-religion theme. Not any religion in particular, just all religions in general. Frank was always kind of like that.
But the groove of this, I like the groove because it's kind of funky rock, I guess, which you would say. The guitar solos are good. The vocal interplay on this track, I I think it all works. There has
Yeah,
not
the
been
whole-
anything on this record that hadn't worked yet.
I think that whole song is just that vamp, right?
Marlon,
Yeah, he does some singing.
he does some singing,
Yeah.
variations of a theme. Mark's going, yeah, Marlon, quite a bit.
So that's the end of side 3, actually. And I really dig side 4 of this album.
All right, well, keep going.
So on the original album, it's the first song on here is called Heavenly Bank Account, but it actually fades. On the original album, the previous song, Dumb All Over from the last side, fades back in. So you get, a little bit of that, Dumb All Over, a little ugly on the side. And then it just breaks into this Heavenly Bank Account, which is a gospel song. And it's about televangelists. That's another subject. He really gets on televangelists in the 80s. It's like, he's got a line right before they start singing, where he says, "There's a big difference between kneeling down and bending over." So
he really mocks the preachers, about them with getting them mass wealth and preaching of humility.
It's a very gospel tune too. They've got like the gospel vocals with the choir going on here, and it just works. It's a really catchy track.
I think the keyboard's on here too. Tommy Mars playing the keys on here.
Well, is it more of a church organ? I don't remember.
Yes.
I can hear it again. So anyway, okay, so that's going to lead into our next song, because basically, after the churches, just screwed you out all your money, there's nothing left to do but go ahead and kill yourself is basically what this. So that leads into the next song, which is called Suicide Chump. So let's go ahead and listen to that.
All right, Suicide Chump. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. That's all I got, because it cuts to the next track.
All right, Jumbo, go away. But anyway, we need to talk about this before we get into that. So, yeah, so that was basic. It's
just rock and roll.
It's basically a blues tune.
Yeah.
About if you're going to kill yourself, don't screw up, because you don't get a second. Well, you get a second chance.
Well, you might regret it, because it might not go as well as it should have.
So, anyway, yeah, Frank is singing on that. Like, hey, singing, Marlon, not talking.
Yeah, that he was singing.
That's Denny Wally with the slide solo on that. So essentially, after the last track where our protagonist had lost all his money to the church, and now he's going to kill himself. He's going to get ready to jump off the bridge, and some unattractive girl stops him. So he doesn't end up killing himself, but he has to run away because the girl is not all that attractive, apparently. So the next song is called Jumbo, Go Away, and it's kind of basically about her not being very attractive. He's trying to get away from her. But it's a real melodic pop song with a lot of weird Zappa twists in it, musically. There's some strange things that go on. It's got this really complex interlude. So, like we said, he gets involved with this girl. He calls her Jumbo. And so he's trying to get away from her. And the voice of the girl is Moon when she's very young.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, you hear her talking, and they're talking back and forth. And there's a line, there are 3 things that smell like fish. One of them is fish. Anyway, I like that track, though.
I like it.
So
it's got
Jumbo,
a good groove, and you can dance to it.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm interested in what you're going to have to say about this next one, because the next track it segues into is If Only She Woulda, where he's wishing he would have just jumped and killed himself, because otherwise he can't get away from this girl, it seems like. But to me, this track, it sounds like Light My Fire.
Kind of.
Doors. It's got that feel to it with the organ, and just the music itself has.
It's mid-tempo. It's kind of melancholic, I guess. Kind of like Light My Fire.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And I like it's got a real long organ solo in it too, and there's some guitar solo in there too. I think it's a really good track. That finally leads us into the last track on here. because our young man, he gets drafted, but he doesn't want to have to go. And the song is called Drafted Again. It starts out with guy knocking on the door. It's Jimmy Carl Black. And he's like, "Hey, I got your draft notice here." Answer the door, and the guy doesn't want to answer it because he doesn't want to get drafted. But it's a real frenetic track. Okay, so this had come out in, I think, 80 or 79. This is the original I Don't Want to Get Drafted. I don't know if it has a year on here. I think it was 80. But so it was, he re-recorded it for this album. This is the original.
Show that again. Okay. Don't want to get drafted, yeah.
Yeah, the B-side's actually called Ancient Armaments, which is another guitar solo type track that would, fit.
What's the back look like? What's the back again look like? Oh, okay.
Is this really?
I've never seen that.
Yeah. The Ancient Armaments track is one of his guitar solo kind of songs, like you get on Shut Up and Play Your Guitar. It's not on any of the albums that I can think of. But yeah, so this is a much more crazy version with millions of overdubs like the rest of the album. And it's a lot faster paced and frenetic. You got Moon and Amit doing some voiceovers on it. And that really kind of wraps up the album.
Mm-hmm.
He goes from losing his money in the church to trying to kill himself, trying to get away from this chick. Then he gets drafted. Go ahead.
I'm ready for my score.
Wow.
I'm giving this a 10 out of 10.
Any other thoughts on the album?
I love it. Love the whole thing. It is everything that I've been waiting for to happen. This is like the follow-up. You can quote me. This is the follow-up to We're Only In It For The Money.
Wow. Yeah.
If you put this album, if you would take this record and release it in 1969 with that production, you know what I mean, the fit within that era, it'd fit right in. It's a great, I like it. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I'm ready for anybody else's score. We're all here just trying to turn. Yes, we'll talk about that Gary Moore, what we have coming up here in a minute. If anybody else wants to give their score on this record, go ahead and give it to me. I want to get Mark's 10 out of 10, another 10. It's a great record. It is a great record. I can't believe that so late in his career, he was able to pull this off. I think he needed time in between the one record and, then we put out, Shut Up and Play Your Guitar, which just is a comp. And I think maybe that's what he needed. Got a 9 out of 10. Landon's coming in with a 10. I don't think we've had Ashley's coming in 9 out of 10.
You didn't even get my score yet.
I'm whenever you want to do it. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm going to go a 10 as well. I do have a problem with the album, but it's the damn CD. Oh, the sound of that CD. I mean, for years I thought it was all the overdubs was just giving me a headache. And then I read people were complaining about it was the sound, which was jacking up with their head up, giving them headaches. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what it is. But I'm still going to go with a 10.
I'm still going with the 10, but based on what Larry was saying, I'd probably go with the 2012. Yeah. It's still in print too. Well, I'm not going to go vinyl. Too much money. Marlon will save a score by not rating it because he's never heard it, which is fine. All right, so you gave us a 10. Anybody else that hasn't given us a score, give it to me right now. You got a couple minutes. But I can calculate what we've got. I don't know if we've had anything rate so high in all of these shows yet.
Really?
But we come up with a 9.7. Wow. That's pretty impressive. Out of all the Zappa shows that we've done.
I don't think we were doing group scoring.
No, we started to do that later. It's morphed. Greg's going with the 7. He's going to knock down my score. Oh, well. That's what the
Wow.
people are saying.
He doesn't
We're
like
still
it.
at a 9.4 though.
Wow. 7. Crazy.
That's fine. That's all right. I want everybody to be honest because this is about turning people onto these records, and we as a group in our community are trying to help other people that might not know it. So that's fine. If you think it's a 7, that's fine with me. I haven't heard the whole album, but I'll listen to it later. Good enough for me. I love it. I have 34 Hours by Skid Row. Did you see the Skid Row show, Marlon? I can't remember if
He didn't
you
release it yet.
Oh, fuck. We only recorded it.
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting
All right,
a week for that to go out.
well, what's tomorrow? I got to see
Wednesday.
what's.
I think we recorded that last Tuesday.
I know. I'm just so backed up.
Yeah.
I know. Anyway, we recorded Skid Row. I'll get it up. Beck and Jeff. Yeah. Lonesome Tears, best song ever. Beck has so many. Beck with Jeff Beck would have been good.
Well, how are we talking about Beck here? I don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't know. I'm blaming West Coast Dave. I always blame West Coast Dave. I don't know. Or Marlon, but they're both here. So I don't know who to blame. X Music. Okay, it's okay. We can go off topic. We go off topic all the time. All right, we're 55 minutes in. I think we've done it. We give this record a 9.4. It's pretty high. It just shows you that Zappa still had it at 1981. Phenomenal record.
I don't know that he put out anything better than this afterward.
I will find out. I'm open. If he can do this late, I don't know.
I don't know that I'll ever score anything as high as this again of his.
Yeah.
Maybe one.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. We've been doing this for 3 years, so we're finally into 1981. Thanks, Ken.
Yeah, we're looking to do next time 2 and 1. We're going to do a Ship Arriving Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch. And
you're going to talk about Gary Moore. Shitty.
I'm doing The Drowning Witch and Man from Utopia next. Those are both fairly short albums, so we'll cram those into one so we can get through this before I get on Social Security.
Well,
which is not that far from now if I choose to take it.
I would hold off if you don't need it.
I don't.
You're welcome, everybody. I appreciate it. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. We're loose in the warehouse. We're just trying to turn you on to music like I sub. Thanks. Oh, we should haze Mark since he's new. West Coast Dave, can you take Mark around back and haze him? Because he's a new subscription. Just joking. Welcome aboard, Mark. I appreciate it. Turning off autocorrect does have the downside. Those Gary Moore solos in Coliseum 2 kill. Yes, and tell them, Byron, when. Well, we have to. Did we already schedule this?
Let me look at my calendar real quick. I think we're doing that one November 25th.
Okay, well, I got time. I've got time to get the other one out then.
I still got to mail you that one.
But look at this. We're going to be tackling. Go ahead and tell them what we're doing. I'll hold this up.
Yeah, we already did Skid Row, and that should be coming out here in the next few days. And then we're going to do the Grinding Stone and the 3 Coliseum 2s. I got to send Grant my extra copy of Strange New Flesh.
I popped in a little bit of this because it's just a ride. Well, I sent you pictures, and I was really blown away by it so far.
It's better than people think.
And I never even saw this record before.
No, I think I've only ever seen one. It came out in the U.S. I've only ever seen one domestic copy of that on vinyl.
This is the UK CD. I don't know. I have to get through it. I'm going to listen to it tonight. Marlon's got it. Marlon, do you like that? Do you like that record? I don't know, but the guitar that I heard on it so far, I was going, phew, I'm in. Grinding Stone.
Those episodes. He's going to be all over those.
All right. Well, stay tuned. That's our new series that we're starting out, but we will continue on with Frank Zappa, like Byron just said. So tune in. I'll send you some dates here shortly. But anyway, thanks everybody. We're at an hour. We'll see you. Keep it clean, Rap the Rascal, and we'll see you on the next one.